We are now in Memphis, Tennessee, which is the home of the king of rock and roll, Elvis, of course.
There he is.
But
we can't go on together with suspicious minds. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right, so we're not here to do a story on Elvis. We are here to actually do a story on, you want to tell him?
The Firm.
Firm.
Mitch McAndrew, played by Tom Cruise, a John Grisham book turned into a movie that was filmed all around Memphis, Tennessee, where we are right now. We can't wait to show you some of these locations from The Firm. This movie was a massive success that year. Came in number 3, but that's because number 1 was Jurassic Park. And number 2, you gotta fix your hair.
I did. I had a piece of hair going in the mouth.
Number 2, what was number 2? The Fugitive. So number 3 was The Firm, although The Firm was the first movie to knock Jurassic Park out of that top spot that summer in 1993.
Blew it right out of the water.
A great year for John Grisham. He had another movie come out that year too. But anyway, we're worried about Firm. And we cordially invite you to come along for the adventure.
Come along. We've now arrived at the parking deck for The Firm. It was Mitch's first day of work. He did not want to be late. He drove past this spot right here. You can see this building over here with the awnings. Now, the awnings were different. They were green and round at the time, but the building looks the same. Over here, they've added Ave to Monroe.
That's just in case people were confused. I think people were confused. Monroe Drive, is it Monroe Circle? Is it Monroe Street?
Is it?
Is it? No, it's Monroe Abbey.
Abbey.
Monroe Abbey. Now we know. And this is the parking deck right here that The Firm used, that Mitch parked in. He came pulling in the street, driving down the street right through here. And then he pulls into the parking deck right here. He talks to the guy, a little eager, aren't we, Mr. McAndrew?
Yeah.
The guy's not here today. Back in 1993, they had to have people. For those of you too young to remember this, they had to have actual people who would sit there and collect money when you park at a parking deck. Not anymore. Not in 2021. Now, it's all automated. And then right over here is the actual Firm building. I think it's Bedini, Lambert, and Locke. Right here. There it is.
We're now at the house where Mitch and Abby moved into when they moved to Memphis.
Yeah, it's a little different color now. It's yellow now. There's a different color in the film, white, I think. You can see this mailbox over here. The mailbox has changed a little bit, but that was shown in the movie. Also, this driveway was used quite a bit when they moved in, when they moved out. Also, there were some landscaping type things. I think plants or some sort of flowers or something around these 2 trees during the filming of the movie as well.
Abby and another one of the women from The Firm, they were walking across the road right here and went over these couple steps right here. And as they were doing so, they talked about how nobody had ever been divorced at The Firm.
That's right, all white, all male, all married. She said, huh, that seemed a little strange to Abby. Speaking of strange, right up above us, if I can find it, there it is, Strange Cargo. Now this store was shown as the groups walked by. Of course, the men were walking separately from the women. They were up in the front. The women were in the back there. And the men were also discussing the exact same thing, that no one in The Firm has ever been divorced. It seemed a little strange to Tom Cruise as well. Mitch McAndrew. Now, this area right behind Heather. We see this in the movie. This, right here. Very clearly shown in the movie behind the 2 men, Tom Cruise and the other gentleman, as they watch this boy doing flips down the street. So we know this is the exact spot. This pole right here. And on the ground here would have been where that hat would have been sitting, where the boy was collecting tips as he's doing backflips down the street. So Mitch McAndrew walks up to him, sees him doing it, and he starts doing it. He's doing backflips. He's going all down the street. Show us, Heather.
Yeah.
Do one. That's not a good backflip.
That's all you get. What are you trying to do? Get me all busted up
Here,
on the
you hold
concrete?
it and I'll do a backflip right
Okay, well, let's see that.
So he goes down the street, starts doing backflips. That wasn't very good. I wouldn't have gotten a tip, probably.
Oh my goodness, you might get a tip, but not the one you're looking for.
So they did that. Now later in the movie, Mitch walks right down this very street right here, sees the boy in the hat, walks right by him because he's very upset. These things have not gone well at that point in the film.
This is where the funeral was for one of the men that died.
That's right, the priest. Actually, this is a real priest, the guy that played the role of the priest, a real priest here in Memphis. He was standing right up in there, talking about the gentleman's life, giving the prayer and all that. The rest of them were standing around here. These over here are another way we can know that. Of course, that's pretty obvious there. But then the back of the crowd went to about right here. You see these 4 tall headstones, as well as the smaller ones where the crowd is gathered for the funeral.
We are now on top of the roof of the Peabody Hotel, which is where the firm threw a party for Mitch, trying to convince him to come work for them.
That's right. You can see. Look at that Peabody sign right up there. Does that look familiar from the movie? Sure does. That's because Mitch was standing here talking with one of the lawyers. You can see this right here beside them, and you can see the Peabody sign up above them, which means they were right where I'm standing and where Heather was standing. There she is, right here. That's where they were standing. And there was a band set up, because you can see this building behind them. There's a band set up somewhere over there.
We are at Blues City Cafe, which is where Mitch was sitting at a booth doing work when 2 FBI agents walked up.
That's right, this is when he got a chance to talk to the FBI. And they're little creepy guys. And Mitch is a little creeped out by this. He's sitting in there in a booth, probably right over here, because we got the brick wall there, and we know he's behind that. And we can see this window in the shot as well. And the FBI agents are sitting out there in the middle. Now this is where Mitch gets told by them, you know, they're like, isn't this a little strange that you're in a firm of just 41 people and there have been 4 deaths, all lawyers, under the age of what, 45 in the last 10 years. That does seem a little strange to Mitch.
We are now at Front Street Deli, which is where Mitch met up with Tammy, who was the secretary of the private detective he had hired.
Yes, this was filmed on January 11th, 1993. We know the exact date because there's a plaque right here. The firm filmed at this location. Mitch would have been sitting right here in the window. Tammy right next to him. Tammy was played by Holly Hunter. Now that year was a pretty good year for her because she got nominated for an Academy Award for supporting actress in this movie. Later in the year, she got nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress in the Piano. She was only the 11th actor or actress ever to be nominated for both of those awards in the same year. Pretty good accomplishment. Now, the other interesting thing about this is that she was in this movie for less than 6 minutes. 5 minutes and 59 seconds to be exact. So, pretty cool.
At one point in the movie, Mitch came home, turned up the music really loud, and whispered something into Abby's ear.
Yeah, he was letting her know that the house was bugged. Their phones were bugged. The house was bugged. Everything was bugged. People were listening in from the firm on what they were talking about. And the song they were listening to was M-O-N-E-Y by Lyle Lovett. So Abby is furious about this, as anybody would be. You know, they've been hearing everything. They've been talking about everything they've been doing in the house since they've been living there. That would creep out anybody. She takes out the door right there, comes running through here and straight down the street. Where's Mitch? Follows her down there.
While Mitch was running, he ran right past Jefferson Plaza right here.
They want to run right through here into this dip right here, and you see him run right past here. There's some kind of bank was over here and some other business was over there. It's all boarded up now. In the last 28 years, time has not been kind to the Jefferson Plaza. Doesn't look like it's going to be around much longer. Let's take a look inside. Look at the barbed wire on the doors.
Mitch also ran right through this intersection right here behind us.
Now over here, we'll notice there's a store that says Easy Way Food Stores. I don't know if we can see it today. Back up this way. Now right next to that was a place called Jack's Food Store. That entire building is now gone, but Jack's has moved over a couple spots.
We are now at Mud Island. This is where Mitch rode the
Monorail.
monorail.
Right there behind us. It's that thing that kind of hangs down below here and goes across. And when he got to the other side, he looked around at some stuff, did some things. Then as he's heading back over, the bad guy spots him on the monorail, and the bad guy's going the opposite direction. So he gets up on the top here and goes running to meet up with Mitch when he gets over here. Let's go inside the peak. Let's go.
Right here is where Mitch sees the bad guy, and he jumps, leaps over this.
Right here, he takes this. Hold this. Let me show you here. no further. He climbs up over here, jumps.
You be
Right
careful.
over to over there.
All right, that was very, very scary. At the end of the movie, you can see Mitch and Abby moving out of the house. They had a car with a moving trailer attached to it.
It was parked right there. They come pulling out of the driveway right over here, and they take off to leave. They got to get out of Memphis. They've had enough of this town, and they got to start a new life somewhere else. Of course, Mitch has set things up so that the Chicago mob is not too upset with him. He's got some protections in place. He's got some of their secrets, so that's his way to continue to live once they leave here, because the mob doesn't like it when you clear out of your house.
No way.
When you leave town. No. Yeah, that's what they do. People that do that, they chop their heads off. A couple of these other houses, that one and that one over here, were also shown at different parts of this movie. All right, we're getting out of here too, and we hope you will hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you can come along with us on future adventures.
Come along.